Ooh, what's up, Internet? My name's David Webb.
I'm Arielle Edwards.
We get nerdy nightly.
And we thought we'd share it with you.
That is right. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of the Nightly Morning Show. This time a Friday edition, which means I got my Star Wars shirt on because there was a new episode of Das Mandolorian.
Yeah. We for those of you who don't know, we get up early on Fridays before the show and watch the newest episode of The Mandalorian. And it was pretty great today. I'm not gonna lie.
It was a solid episode. There was some like really good action. We're not.
We don't spoil.
We have some new people in the chat. We do record the show live on Twitch, twitch.tv/nerdynightly. That is where you can join us Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time if you would like to watch along, be in the chat, conversate with us. But I do see some new names in the chat, so I do want to say we will not be spoiling anything about the episode. Just some general thoughts, like every Friday.
Yeah.
This was a solid episode. It was definitely shorter.
Yeah, but like, I feel like I keep saying this about The Mandalorian, but it is as long as it needs to be. You know, which is the nice thing. They don't have to fluff it up to make it 45, 50 minutes, whatever it is. It's the amount of time that it needs to be to tell this part of the story. And this one was really exciting. Yeah,
I really appreciated the brevity of it.
Yeah.
Because it was basically just a giant action sequence. It never felt like it was going on too long. It never felt like there were too many beats. Yeah. It kind of had a really nice wave. You know, sometimes when you look at like 5-act structure of storytelling, you can see like the waves of it and the ups and downs. Yeah. And the trajectory of the emotional arc of the episode was really strong.
Yes.
And I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the way that the characters interacted. And it set up this was the episode that kind of set up what the last 2 episodes of the season are going to be.
Oh, for sure. And they did a great job of building that tension.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Through the whole episode, you're like, oh dear. Like, you just kind of like had an inclination of what was coming, and you're like, oh, this is where we're going. Okay.
And also built up what the trajectory of Mando and the child's relationship is. Yeah. There was a really, like, the emotional arc of this episode really begins right at the top. Yeah. In that first scene. And it just, I feel like this show at times doesn't really have stakes to it. It's kind of a fun Star Wars show. Yeah. And the stakes don't seem very high. This episode was like, okay, we've set up who everybody is. Yeah. We had some low stakes so that you knew what was going on in the world. And now that we know who everyone is, boom, stakes on stakes. And you're like, oh my God.
Like, oh my God.
Like, I was literally, because we watch it in bed, because we were watching in bed. And I was literally like, I stopped being able to move at one point. I was just like, the last like 10 minutes of this whole episode, I was literally like vibrating. Literally vibrating.
Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, I'm really happy. Really happy with it.
Yeah. Yeah, here's the thing. I can't get into it without spoiling, but I do have some questions about certain like plot points and how things worked, and you know, that's something that maybe we'll discuss like once everybody's seen all of season 2 after it's
maybe
out.
We'll do like maybe we'll set up a spoiler stream where we'll do like an hour of spoiler talk with the chat for everyone who wants to. Yeah. Give Joe, because we know Joe isn't going to watch it until it's all out. Yeah. So maybe like a week after, the Friday after it's all out, we'll do a bonus hour of the morning show that's just Mandalorian spoilers.
Yeah, we could totally do that. Because I think there's a lot to talk about, but I obviously don't want to ruin the experience for anybody. So that's why we don't do spoilers.
Yep. Yeah. How are you doing? Non-nerd stuff. Before we get into the nerd news, how are you doing?
I'm good.
I ask you that almost every day. Why are you so surprised?
I don't know. Like, we live together. Like, I feel like you...
I'm not asking for me. I'm asking for the audience.
Oh, guys, I'm great.
I don't care how you're doing.
Yeah, I was like, why? I'm good.
I'm trying to start a conversation.
You nailed it, babe. You nailed it.
I'm doing okay. Honestly, I am this week has been this is a long week for me. My brain is, we're not streaming, neither of us are streaming for the rest of the day. I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna we are edit some video, but other than that, I need a day off.
Yeah, we are taking the day off. It has been a long week.
Yeah.
The exciting part is that we do have a lot of content coming for you guys on YouTube. Yeah. So keep an eye out on that. Keep an eye on that for the next few weeks. We're gonna have our Twitch clips. We've got a Subnautica video. We've got an unboxing video. We should also probably do the second part of our Oculus review.
Yeah, that needs to go up.
So yeah, we got
spoilers for that. Stuff. We don't play it that often.
Yeah, spoilers.
We were we're going to do another review in 2 weeks once we've played a bunch of Oculus games. And the truth is, finding time to throw on the VR set and play with VR is not easy.
Yeah, although I'm not going to lie, I want to get really good at Beat Saber.
Just
because I always wanted to be really good at DDR. And I was pretty good at DDR, but I was never
Were you good enough that you could do the thing where you would put your hand on the thing behind you and support yourself while you just moved your feet?
Yeah, but the problem is you can only practice that when you're at the arcade. So at home, I didn't have anything behind me. I just had the Wii mat or whatever it was,
Right.
So I could only do stuff like that when we went to the theaters because they had one. Remember the Chinook?
I do remember the Chinook.
Yeah, we would go to the Chinook movie theater and they had one there, and that was kind of really the only place that I got to use it. But I don't know. Beat Saber seemed like the same thing. I just want to be really good at it.
I hated DDR.
Really?
Yeah, I would do 2 rounds and then I'd be all right, I'm done. And then I would go do something else. I didn't hate it. People would be let's play DDR for 6 hours. And I'm we're in public and I'm going to get sweaty. And then that's not going to be comfy. I'm not going to feel good. I didn't wear sweatpants to the mall. I'm in jeans. I don't want to... The last thing I want to do is, sweat through my denim.
Ew.
No, but, that's... I was DDR at home was more fun because I could wear, basketball shorts. And I would be
No, totally. I have been to the arcade in Toronto a few times over the years that I've been here. And, the really unfortunate thing is that I'm always I want to go play DDR. But it's never, the DDR official one. It's now in the corners instead. And my brain can't handle it.
No, I can't.
So instead of up, down, side, side, it's corner, 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 corner. And I'm mm-mm. Oh, and there's a center button as well. I don't like it. Bring back old DDR.
Yeah, I hate it. Yeah. I hate it. Should we get into the nerd news?
Absolutely.
Y'all, Warner Brothers made an announcement yesterday that has people on 2 sides of a big old fence. And on one side are consumers, and on the other side are movie theaters. And Warner Brothers has said, you two do not get to be friends anymore. Because Warner Brothers has essentially put a giant paywall between consumers and movie theaters. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. The Warner Brothers made an announcement yesterday that all 17 of their 2021 releases, some of the biggest movies of next year, we're talking Dune, we're talking The Suicide Squad, and 15 others, will be dropping on HBOMax on the same day that they drop in movie theaters. They are going to then play on HBOMax and movie theaters for a month. Then they are going to be pulled off of HBOMax. And then they are going to be only in movie theaters for a certain window until they are allowed to do premium video on demand, which is the rental service, and then they'll come out on DVDs. And then I'm assuming 6 months after they come out, they'll be back on HBO Max. And so next year, for $15 a month, you will be able to see every single Warner Brothers movie the day that it comes out. And I am not going to lie to you. That's exciting.
Nope.
For people who don't like to go to movie theaters. This is a tragedy for movie theaters, though.
Yeah.
This is really, really bad. For an industry that is already having such a difficult time this year.
Yeah.
And it is quite shocking to me, particularly because Warner Brothers pushed movie theaters to open back in August. They were like, look, we have Tenet. If you open... if you build it, they will come. You know what I mean? If you open and we put Tenet in theaters, people are gonna show up. And so all of these movie theaters, and they also were like, and then Wonder Woman is like 2 weeks later. You open your movie theaters, you're gonna have Tenet, and you're gonna have Wonder Woman, and we're gonna save your summer, right? We're gonna save you from all these losses.
Yeah.
And so they opened because Warner Brothers was like, good faith agreement. We're a team. Let's make this happen. Let's make some money. And so they opened at a loss. And Tenet didn't make any money, and Warner Brothers pushed Wonder Woman back to December 25th. And so movie theaters lost a lot of money because Warner Brothers said that they were going to help them out and did not.
Yep.
Let's just be very clear about it. Like, Warner Brothers said that you were going to get Tenet and Wonder Woman, and then they gave them Tenet, and they did not give them Wonder Woman, and Tenet made $22 million, which just is nothing.
Yeah.
That's a Gerard Butler flick in another year. And no movie theater staying open because of a Gerard Butler flick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's something against Gerard Butler. I love Geostorm as much as everyone else who listens to How Did This Get Made, but Warner Brothers put the movie theaters in this position by pushing them to open, and now is turning around and I'm sorry, but like they're stabbing them in the back here. That this is there's no other way to put this.
Yeah. This is very bad news.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are excited and like cool, sure. But long term, this is really going to be detrimental to movie theaters. Because they are not going to be able to make the money that they once did to be able to stay open. And, you know, before all this happened, I was like, movie theaters will be fine. You know, I was convinced movie theaters will be fine. People want to see movies. You know, it's going to happen. And...
Because Warner Brothers is saying this is a one-year thing. But if this goes well, there's no way that... here's the thing. You can't put the lid back on Pandora's box. And this has been the movie theater chain's argument for years, why they've been fighting so hard to keep the theatrical release windows long.
Yeah.
And stop movies from going to streaming early on, is because of they know that you can't put the lid back on the box.
Yeah.
And... the only hope that is kind of left here is that at some point next year, the vaccine is going to be fully out. Movie theaters are going to be given the okay to open back up to 100%. And every single movie theater chain turns their back on Warner Brothers and says, we are not showing your movies. Good luck. Have fun with HBOMax. Because if they do that, Warner Brothers will lose a crap ton of money. I'm sorry, but HBO Max is not going to make enough money to justify the expense of every one of these $200 million films.
Well, and especially because it's only available in America.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, if Cineworld says, we're not showing your movies in the UK, we're not showing your movies in Regals in the United States until you pull them off HBO Max, there's a chance that the movie theaters are going to be able to strong arm themselves back into a good position here. But that isn't going to happen until the vaccine is out. Until then, Warner Brothers can do this, because what are movies going to say?
Yeah, they have to hold out until then.
Movie theaters can't make money right now. And so Warner Brothers is taking advantage of that situation and making a business decision that is going to hurt movie theaters.
Yeah.
And it just is. And it's for... I don't know who gains here other than stockholders, and I guess that's all they care about. But, like, I don't think that this helps the movie experience. Long term, they're not going to have as much money to make movies with.
Yeah.
Like, they're short-sighted in that they're cutting off their... Look, I'm going to be very honest with you. In-cinema tickets are the majority of a movie's box office profits.
Totally.
You are not making money off streaming. Streaming doesn't make money the way that... This is the same thing that happened to music when Napster destroyed the music industry and iTunes brought it back with the 99-cent model, and then iTunes got destroyed by the streaming model, is that you watch the degradation of the income of the people who make your art. And musicians watch their incomes slowly dwindle as the industry went to, hey, you can have all this music for free, and the people who create it, don't worry about them. They'll tour year-round just to pay their bills. Yeah. The same thing is going to happen to movies now. There is the death of the movie theater brings about the death of independent cinema. And you're not going to be able to see movies that don't cost $150 million. Every movie under like $10 million, it's gone. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna end up having, like, you know, we kind of brought this up before, but like you're gonna end up having your HBO movie theater, your Amazon movie theater.
Well, that's illegal still.
Still,
that would you'd have to change the law for that.
But. Yeah, but I mean, they're already they're already trying to wear that down.
Yeah, but why? But here's my question: why would you go to the HBO movie theater if you have it at home?
Well, if you don't have it at home.
But you will, because HBO Max, all the movies are going to be on HBO Max.
Yeah, I guess it's just like
HBO Max currently is cheaper than a single movie ticket. A month of HBO Max is cheaper than a movie ticket in New York City.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If HBO comes out with, 15 movies in the year, and, 2 of them I want to see, I'm not going to sign up for HBO Max.
Well, yeah, that's fair. But I think that you're in the minority in that. I think that the majority of households will probably have this service so that they can watch the Wonder Woman, and they can watch the kids movie, and they can watch the... I don't know. I'm sitting here... I'm trying to process, honestly. It's been a day, and I'm still trying to process because I don't know where we go from here. I don't know what the movie theaters are going to do. They are going to hit back hard.
Honestly, I hope that they do what you're saying and they say, we're not going to show your movies. Yeah. I hope that they are able to do that. Yeah. Who knows what things are going to look like in a year. But I really hope that they have that choice and that they say no. You screwed us. We're not going to help you.
I also think that Warner Brothers has put themselves in an interesting legal position as far as their actors are concerned. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of actors in the industry who are big enough names that when they sign a deal for a movie, they get a cut of the box office
sales.
And Warner Brothers may have just shot themselves in the foot with a lot of those contracts, because if I was an actor who was promised 5% of the box office and the studio turned around and said, oh yeah, but we're doing this modified release and you won't see a cut of the HBO Max views on opening night, I would be like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Are you saying that you are literally taking money out of my pocket? Yeah. Are you screwing me over that hard? And I'm gonna be honest, there will be lawsuits about this and maybe not. Maybe Warner Brothers is willing to pay people off before it gets to a lawsuit stage, but that's
a lot of money, though.
There is no way in which the unions are going to sit back and let this happen.
Yeah, no, this is going to be nasty. Because even if HBO was Warner Brothers was like, we'll pay you this much to make up for that portion of the contract or whatever. It's still like a lot of actors are going to be like, no, because now I have a set number instead of that potential.
Yeah.
And that's such a different thing. And Warner Brothers is not going to want to pay that price tag.
Well, and there are directors who put in their contracts that my movie has to be released in cinemas. And Warner Brothers is getting around that by doing this dual release. Yeah. But if the movie theaters say, we're not going to show your movie, and the movie doesn't open wide in cinemas, because here's the problem. Warner Brothers didn't consult the movie theater companies first. They just announced this. And AMC didn't know, Regal didn't know, Cineworld did not know. And so there is a real chance here that you cannot, without those companies, you can't open a movie theater, or you can't open a movie wide, meaning that it won't be in over 1,500 theaters.
Yeah.
You literally won't be able to satisfy the contracts with some of these directors. And I wouldn't be surprised if one of them that ends up being a sticking point next year is Dune. I wouldn't be surprised if Denis Villeneuve, an incredible director.
Yeah.
Truly. And Dune is a movie that I have to freaking see in theaters. I don't want to watch it at home.
I don't want to watch it at home.
I never want my first viewing of a Denis Villeneuve movie to be a home viewing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was one of those directors who has that kind of clause in his contract because he believes in the theatrical experience.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much you have to pay him off to get away with that.
I don't know.
Any idea, Dark Dispatch in the chat asks, any idea how this will affect foreign film production? Will this mainly hurt Hollywood or will it be universal? You know what? I don't know at this point, right? Because, to be honest, foreign films don't typically make a lot of money in the United States. And at this point, with HBO Max, you know what, Dark Dispatch? It really depends on what happens with other companies. If other studios are willing to hold off on this and are willing to stand by the theaters and not screw them over the way that Warner Brothers is trying to, I don't think you're going to see that international impact until HBO Max rolls out worldwide. Because for now, Warner Brothers is still going to be putting out all of its films regularly in the rest of the world. It's only in the United States where they'll have this joint model. But if Disney or Universal or these other companies were willing to do the same thing, and they might be, Disney has Disney Plus. There's no reason for them to not, put out a premium Disney Plus model where you pay more, instead of $6.99, it's $9.99 a month, and for the additional $3 you get new movies. And so for now, I don't think it's going to affect international production of foreign films, just because they're not really a part of this model. But long term, I think it will eventually get to them,
Yeah, it's going to be one of those, trickle-down effects. It's going to spread. Yeah, it's a scary thought.
But here, what's also really interesting about this? The United States just lost its place as the #1 box office in the world.
Oh, wow.
To China in the last year. China is now the biggest box office for movies in the world. Mm-hmm. And the United States will never again take that slot now. You will never see movie theaters in the United States be able to compete with China now because of this.
Yeah. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, and you know what else you're going to see? Provided they don't put these movies on a Chinese streaming service, you're going to start seeing Warner Brothers movies cater to Chinese audiences even more than they already do, because that's going to be the only place they can actually make money. Because here's the problem with streaming services. There is a cap on how many people will sign up. There is a literal maximum number of people for a streaming service.
Yeah. Whereas, a movie, when I went and saw Doctor Strange, I literally went back and bought a ticket for the next day to see it again. Because I loved it so much.
I saw Avengers Endgame twice on opening day, and then every Friday for a month. I went back every Friday morning before my production of Full Monty, and I would watch Endgame again. Yeah. I saw The Force Awakens 9 times in theaters. Mm-hmm. I'm not, I spent I think I spent almost $200 seeing The Force Awakens in theaters.
Don't you have that movie pass, though?
Not back then, no.
Oh, okay.
No. I literally spent so much money going to see, and honestly, that Movie Pass, the studios actually make the same amount per ticket. That's why Movie Pass was such a mess. But I spend hundreds of dollars a year going to see movies. I spend infinitely more going to see movies. If they're free in my house, I'm not going to spend that. No. And I just, from an economic model, I don't understand what Warner Brothers is thinking. I don't get it. I don't get long term how they think they're going to make money at this.
It looks like it seems like they kind of almost have tunnel vision right now, and it's HBOMax. We need to make HBOMax works. This is how we're going to make money. Streaming service. It just seems like they are so focused on this one thing that they can't really see the bigger picture.
Well, and here's the thing, all the insiders who are talking about Wonder Woman are oh yeah, they're opening Wonder Woman at a loss in order to get interest in HBO Max. They're spending millions and millions of dollars on Justice League to get interest in HBO Max.
Yeah.
It better work.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing.
Or they're screwed.
It better work. If people don't sign up for HBO Max, this will be the dumbest thing they've ever done.
Yeah. Could you imagine if Warner Brothers goes down?
No, they won't. They're still making money off Harry Potter. They're going to be fine forever.
I know.
Some people still buy Harry Potter stuff.
That is true. It's just want to, I just want to, talk to them about it. You know what I mean? I just want to be why? Because also, because they think, and here's what it is. They think that even after the vaccine comes out, I guarantee this is it. They think that even after the vaccine comes out, that movie theaters will still be restricted to 50% capacity through probably Christmas. Yeah. And they're saying it was the same thing I was saying when Tenet was coming out on the podcast, before it was the morning show, when I was saying that Tenet just cannot make money based on how many seats you can sell. And so I think that they're thinking that's going to continue to be a problem for at least 10 months, and they need to make some money. Mm-hmm. The problem is HBO Max will not provide the kind of cash flow that will bolster these films. Yeah. It just can't. There's 17 films coming out.
right? Which means that, say we're talking about a household of 2 people. There's 17 films coming out, which means that there's more than one a month. A family of 2 in New York City to go to the movie theaters, it costs them at least $30 on tickets, which is
just tickets.
Double the price of HBO Max. So say a family of 2 goes to see 1 movie a month, which I don't think is unreasonable, a single movie a month. They're spending 30 times 12, you're talking $360, right? 1 year of HBO Max is going to be 15 times 12, which is $170, right? So you're literally talking about less than half of what you would be spending on a typical year of movies. It's a little more than $170. That's bad math, but it's like it's about $200.
It's fine. I bought it. I was like,
you're literally kneecapping your income right there, and that's assuming the only thing you're making is movies. But you're not. You're not just making movies. You're making all these TV shows. You're making Green Lanterns. You're making Titans. You're making, you're spending millions and millions and millions of dollars, and you are taking away the way that you make money.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I don't either. I'm very confused by it. And I wonder if, in the industry, people are going to be upset with Warner Brothers.
They're furious.
Well, but yeah.
But they're movie theaters
not the theaters. I mean, other, production companies, if they're going to be guys, that's kind of a dick move. If Disney is oh, that was a really crappy thing to do, we're going to try to help the theaters and maybe they'll make a deal with their movies. You know what I mean? Because Disney has money. They're fine.
Well, and it's Universal just negotiated with the movie theaters to be we're going to have a 31-day window. Yeah. So, there are other companies that are trying to negotiate in ways that they're not totally screwed themselves, but that helps the movie theaters get to stay open. This one wasn't negotiated with the theaters. They just made a decision on their own. I'm not, and look, I'm also going to be very clear. I am not sure that they actually can do this. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they actually can make this decision without some sort of agreement from the movie theaters.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out in the coming weeks.
Yeah.
Because if there is any legal avenue that the theater chains have, they're going to pursue it.
Oh, God, yeah.
And it's going to get gross.
Yeah. It's just going to be ugly, guys.
Rebel Trooper says, does it cost more for Warner to put movies in theaters? It doesn't, well, yeah.
It's not that they pay money, it's that they, lose more money because part of it goes to the theater instead of just directly into their pockets, if I'm right?
Yes, but that's ticket sales.
Yeah. They don't pay the movie theaters.
Well, right? Sometimes they do.
Oh, sometimes they do. Okay.
Yeah.
I just assumed that it was always a split.
Honestly, it's so complicated. It comes down to movie to movie. You know what I mean? Sometimes you pay to have your movie in theaters. Sometimes you make agreements where if your movie doesn't make a certain amount, you'll pay out to the theater to have it on the screens. There are things like that.
Yeah.
Dark Dispatch says, if the movie theaters refuse those films and it means contract violations, it's gonna be. Honestly, this is so complicated. I don't think Warner Brothers is truly prepared for how complicated this is going to be. Because they don't look like the good guys right now. And they're behaving as if they are. They're look at us. Look at how kind we are providing films to the masses. And a lot of people are looking at them going, we're not...
You're a dick.
We're not dumb. We see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Let's take the movie theaters out of it. And, I love movie theater experiences. So, I'm slightly biased. I will agree to that. There is a very real thing going on for Warner's here where they have made all these movies that have to come out, and this might be the only avenue. They might be genuine about that 1 year thing. They might be guys, we have to put these movies out because we have to keep making movies. We can't just hold production and put all these out in 2022. We have to put them out next year. This is the only way to make them even slightly viable for us so that we don't go under. But it's a 1 year thing. And if they had come out with that attitude, I think that this would have gone better. I really think that if one of us had come out and been look, 2021 has put us on our ass. This is the only way that we're going to survive, and we know that it sucks. It's going to be a really tough year for the movie theaters. It's going to be a really tough year for us. It's going to be a tough year all around, but we hope that you'll stick with us, and we hope that you'll check out HBOMax if you want to see the movies live. But we, and Warner Brothers, I think their statement should have included, and I don't think it did, we would prefer it if you went and saw our movies in theaters.
Yeah.
Instead of this, like, but we're so grateful to be providing you with the wonderful experience of paying to watch it at home.
Yeah, you're welcome. Like...
Dark Dispatch is saying reducing how much they pay actors and directors because they lower the box office take. I don't know. Absolutely. Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's 100% going to happen.
It's going to be a problem.
Look at what happened to actor salaries when they moved to when television moved to Netflix and HBO, and like streaming sucks. Booking a streaming job as an actor is pennies on the dollar compared to a network television show.
Yeah.
Pennies. Even the extras. Like, when I was doing an extra work in New York City and I would work on a Netflix show, I would make like $60 less on my 8-hour minimum. Like, literally, like, a full $60 less. Because I'd usually make like $175 and I'd make like $115 on a Netflix show. So if you really think about it, like, that's like that's like 40% of my day. It was wild.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, really tragic.
Chomsky Lives says corporations have a fiduciary obligation to maximize short-term profits. Long-term strategies are irrelevant in monopoly capitalism. Chomsky, I don't agree with that.
I mean, that's kind of what it seems like it is with Warner Brothers.
I don't think that this is about profit, though.
You don't think that they're just trying to, like...
No, because they're going to lose money on this. They're 100%, like, they're trying to put a Band-Aid on a wound, a chest wound. Like, this isn't short-term profits. They're going to lose money on this, and they know it. They're losing money on Wonder Woman, and they know it. They should have said the first 6 months of the year. They just should have. And then maybe extended it for the second 6 months if they had to. But
I think...
Yeah, Dark Dispatch says in the chat, seems it's about reducing expenses, not profits. Because they're not going to make money on this. There's no way.
Yeah. I don't know. It just seems like they are trying to make HBOMax a thing, and, like...
It's not going to be a thing, Gretchen.
Yeah, it's like, oh god, we're pulling from Mean Girls. I see how it is. I honestly can't say that I truly understand it.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, it's... I think, like, they look bad. I think it's a bad move on their part, like, for the... Like you said, they're gonna lose money. Like, it's just... I don't understand what the positive is for HBO right now. Like, for Warner Brothers.
Subscribers. I mean, the positive is gonna be subscribers.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why it seems like they just have, like, strict tunnel vision for HBO Max and nothing else.
Yeah, but, like, in my mind, I'm like, how many more people are going to sign up for HBO Max to watch Godzilla vs. Kong? You know what I mean? Like, if you, like, I will, you know what I mean? Like, but I'm that guy.
Yeah.
You know? But I will already be on the service because of Justice League. I'll already be on the service, once it's in Canada, obviously it's not here yet, but yeah. I'll already be on the service for Wonder Woman. Like, some of these films, and, like, Godzilla vs. Kong is a bigger draw than some. There's some of these 17 films, I'm like, it's not even a draw for HBO Max. Like, no one's going to subscribe to watch that day one.
Yeah.
If they already have it, they might watch it.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't be like, I'm going to go watch that. Yeah, I wouldn't.
I don't know.
Like,
I also wonder because Crave has HBO Max stuff in Canada, I wonder if Crave... The weird thing about this whole deal is that Canada sits in a weird position in it. Because we're so adjacent to the United States, because we're part of the domestic box office of the United States, we have a weird place in all of this. Mm-hmm. And I do wonder if we'll have access to the online somehow, or if we won't. Probably not, but it would be nice. Because there's definitely stuff that, like, I don't need to see in theaters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially right now when, like, income is...
Yeah, we need to be careful where we spend our money.
That might actually be another part of it, though. There might be a part of Warner Brothers that's thinking, like, you know what? Even if the movie theaters are open right now, the economy is going to be tough, and people aren't going to have the additional income to go to the movies.
Maybe.
Like, but they'll have $15 a month for HBO Max.
Yeah, maybe.
It might... Look, and here's the thing. I know that I'm being harsh on Warner Brothers. Because it feels really crappy to me that they didn't consult the movie theaters beforehand. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what makes it feel the most like a kind of a weird backstabbing move. Yeah. It's also that they were the ones who had them open for Tenet. Those two things make this feel kind of gross to me.
Yeah.
Having said that, I do acknowledge they're in an impossible position, and like there's no good way out of what's going on right now for anyone making content. Mm-hmm. This is a tough time, and I can totally respect that. And I am being harsh, but I'm being harsh because it feels like they're doing this without considering the other people involved.
Yeah.
And they're just like, this is what we're going to do, and you're all going to deal with it.
Yeah, it's like, that's not, like...
And...
That's so crappy.
So I want to throw... I don't want to be completely harsh on them, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like, this news was upsetting to me, and I don't know how to reconcile those two things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, like, it's tough right now. It feels bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it feels bad, and I really feel for movie theaters, you know? Like, we're all just trying to, like, get by and survive this pandemic, and, like, they are getting screwed so hard.
Well, and, you know, the biggest problem was August. These studios said, you're getting Mulan, you're getting, like, even Disney was in on that, you're getting Mulan. And then as soon as Tenet didn't well, you're not getting Mulan anymore. Like, the movie studios really put these movie theaters in a position. Do you remember that video we watched over the summer of the guy, the movie theater owner, just destroying that Mulan sign the day that Disney announced they were pulling it? Like, and that was that was an independent cinema owner in France. Like, these decisions have these rippling effects. And, you know, AMC is trying to sell 200 million shares of its stock to raise $844 million so that it can survive.
Yeah.
AMC's stock on this announcement dropped 17% yesterday. Every single stock dropped. But AMC, a company that is the largest chain owner in the United States, is the most proliferated chain across the country, dropped 17%, and they're desperately trying to survive. Yeah. And I don't, you know, our friend North Trooper in the chat's talking about how hard it is right now. He's an incredible photographer, and he's like, I just want to create. And North Trooper, I get it. Like, we're stage actors. We've become, like, Twitch broadcasters because this is the only way to kind of do what we love doing, but... Yeah, and, like, this is a tough time. Yeah.
Yeah, and, like... Yeah, it's just a real dick move on HBO, like, on Warner Brothers' part to do this without any regard for how it affects other people, like,
or without even a warning.
No, yeah,
like, you didn't even reach out to the movie theaters and let them know that this was coming.
We're in the middle of a pandemic. Yeah. You could have some human decency and at least tell them. You know what I mean? Like, we are all in this together. We all need each other to, like, we need to back each other up and support one another and, like, support the arts, please.
Please, for the love of God.
But you know what I mean? It's just such a shady thing.
Yeah.
I'm not. Warner Brothers, that's a no from me.
That's a no from me, dog. In the famous words of...
Randy Jackson.
Randy Jackson from American Idol. Yeah.
Oh, great show.
Should we move on to other news?
Sure.
I feel like we've said just about everything that needs to be said about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I personally am hoping to see Wonder Woman in theaters. Because I would like to support a local theater here in Toronto and see the movie the way that it should be seen. Yeah. Even though it is over 2.5 hours, which I was surprised to see. Oh. It's going to be a long one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Chomsky Lives says, I loved your earlier point about unions fighting back. It's historically the only counterbalance to corporate control and profiteering. Chomsky, I really hope SAG-AFTRA steps in on this one. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, SAG-AFTRA is literally just trying to stay alive right now. So
they are also floundering, which is,
I hope that the SAG-AFTRA, the DGA, the WGA, I hope that these companies, these unions, and full disclosure, I'm a member of SAG-AFTRA. I'm a card-carrying member. I pay my dues, and so I do come from that position. But I do hope that they do something to help the movie theaters out, because I think that actor profits are going to drop significantly if this becomes how the industry works. Yeah, and it's going to hurt all actors in all movies forever. It's already tough to be an actor, so what? No, it's so easy. Don't you see the acting that we are doing right now? Yeah, acting, one of those, like, get rich quick jobs for sure. Since we're talking about streaming services, we've had some it's been a weird week, because earlier in this week we were talking about an Instagram post from celebrity actress, wonderful star of Bumblebee, Hailee Steinfeld. She tweeted, she posted on Instagram and used a bow and arrow emoji, and so everyone was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, is she Kate Bishop? Because everyone is pretty sure she's Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
She's Kate Bishop.
Yeah,
we have set photos.
Yeah. She's there, she's doing the thing, like, literally.
We don't post set photos on the show. We only show officially released things. But if you want to find them, you can go find them yourself. But yeah, there's video of her. She's definitely Kate Bishop. Why Disney hasn't just announced it? Like, they're filming right now in New York City. Why they haven't announced it is so weird.
I know. Maybe they just don't care. They're like, we're dealing with other stuff right now.
Maybe they thought it would be fun for it to come out in set photos. But honestly, like, if they had just put out a photo of her in costume officially first, I think it would have gotten more buzz. This kind of weird, like, wait, what the hell's going on thing?
Yeah.
Maybe they had two actresses in quarantine, and they were like, whichever one of you tests negative for COVID gets to be Kate Bishop.
Oh my god. It's now competition.
It's the Hunger Games, but instead of killing each other, you just sit in a hotel room and wait for your test to come back.
That's awful.
But in addition to Hailee Steinfeld, we got some really fun casting news for the Hawkeye show on Disney+. Vera Farmiga. Do you know who Vera Farmiga is?
I do not.
I'm not surprised. She's in a lot of horror stuff.
Oh.
But she is one of the most amazing performers alive. And I say that because of her role in the television show Bates Motel. She plays Nora Bates. What's her... Oh my god, I don't remember her... She plays the lead, Mrs. Bates. Mm-hmm. The mother to... Norman Bates, right? I'm forgetting names. But her performance in Bates Motel is one of the greatest television performances of all time. It really is. It's stunning. I think she should have won an Emmy every single year for that show. It's so good. Bates Motel as a show is just freaking incredible. But Vera Farmiga has been tapped by Marvel to play Kate Bishop's mother.
Oh, fun!
Yeah, which is cool freaking casting. I love Vera Farmiga.
That'll be fun.
Honestly, that's what I'm most excited for about the show now.
Nothing else. Just that. Oh my god, my voice died.
It's a Hawkeye show, and all I care about is Hawkeye's mom, Norma Bates. Oh, I was right. And then his name's Norman. But it's Norma and Norman? Yeah, I think that's right.
That's very confusing. Why would you do that?
Because they're psycho.
Makes sense.
I love that show so much. It's so good. Norma Bates, no spoilers, but in the final season of that show, the shit they do. Oh boy! It's so good. I freaking love Bates Motel. But yeah, so she's gonna... They're bringing in some top-tier talent even in these, like, kind of, like, non-lead roles. Mm-hmm. Like, Vera Farmiga's, like, a movie star.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she's in the Conjuring movies with Patrick Wilson.
Oh, I think I've seen The Conjuring.
Oh, have you? Then you've seen... I'm pretty sure that you've seen Vera Farmiga then.
Have I seen that? No, maybe it wasn't The Conjuring. Is The Conjuring one of the, like, haunted house movies?
Yeah.
Okay, I might have seen it. I might have been forced to go watch it.
One of the haunted house movies?
Yeah. It takes place in a house.
Sure.
Is that the one where they find the bodies in the walls?
Maybe.
Okay, I don't know. It's been a long time, guys.
You just got way too excited about bodies in walls?
No,
like, you don't like horror, but you were like, do they have the bodies in the walls?
No, I was excited about remembering.
That was like a dog who just, like, heard, like, the sound of, like, food being poured into the bowl. You just were like, huh? Should we stand?
Yeah, that's pretty much what just happened. I don't even know if I'm talking about the right movie, but it's great.
In other Marvel news, the Sony channel Latin-America, which is a legit channel with 182,000 subscribers promoting things for Sony in Latin America, posted an unofficial news blast of sorts. This is from comicbookmovie.com. And the direct translated the text within, which reads, "Who is your favorite Spider-Man? You don't have to choose. In the Marvel multiverse, anything can happen. And in Spider-Man 3, it is very possible you will see everyone. Yes, the 3 Peter Parkers saving the world together." So, apparently... Sony Latin America might have just spoiled that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in this movie.
Wow.
Yeah, which is interesting because the same thing happened with Rosario Dawson playing Ahsoka Tano in Mandalorian.
Yeah.
It was spoiled by an Indian Disney Plus account on Twitter.
Right.
And so it seems like these international accounts maybe are not getting the, like, don't spoil things that...
They didn't read the memo that morning?
Yeah.
Yeah. That seems like a pretty big... Like, I don't know. I don't know how that stuff works, but, like, you would think that...
In other recent news relating to this, Zendaya was recently asked about it while filming Spider-Man 3, and she said that she cannot confirm nor deny that they're in the movie. So I'm going to assume they're in the movie.
Yeah.
Because...
At this point, I think we have enough evidence.
Sony Channel Latino America says they are. Here's my question. How pissed do you think Kevin Feige is that he has to work with Sony right now?
I don't know.
Like... He's running the MCU for Disney, and like he has to have this deal with Sony. You know what I mean? Like they need it, and Sony keeps doing things that he's like, guys, like, I have a plan. Yeah. I've got all the chess pieces ready to move. Yeah. And then suddenly you're like, pawn to E5, and he's like, God damn it.
Yeah, I'm sure he's...
Chess references are good now, right? Because of Queen's Gambit, everyone likes chess references now.
Yeah, that's how it works. It's in the cultural mindset. Chess. Yeah, I kind of feel bad for him. Like, because I'm sure that this was not his plan. Mm-hmm. Oh, it wasn't 100%. Like, no, yeah, this account is gonna, like, pretend to spoil it, but it, you know, we're actually gonna want them to, like, no. Somebody screwed up. Somebody didn't get the memo. There was a miscommunication. But now we know, so, like, that's cool. Now we know. Yeah.
I'm excited. I think that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield coming back is just fun. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, Spider-Man is the kind of universe where you can pull that off.
Oh, yeah.
You know, 3 wisecracking, 2 Peter Parkers, and then Andrew Garfield.
Okay. Wow.
No, I'm kidding. That was a joke. I liked the Amazing Spider-Man movies. The whole time I was kind of like, God, Peter Parker's really hot.
Yeah.
Like, that was I was like, Peter Parker is, like, the most attractive person in this school.
Well, and that, like, I mean, not in the movie, but, like, when you watch him in interviews with, like, his accent, you're like...
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like...
Anytime they're like, oh, Peter, you dork. And I'm like, he's a least model.
Dorkiest person I think I've ever witnessed.
He's so attractive.
Yeah. The only, like, less dorky person is, like, I don't know.
Joe Manganiello.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, you know what I mean? Like...
In the original Spider-Man movie, they put Joe Manganiello as Flash Thompson, which worked because Tobey Maguire and, like, Joe Manganiello was a man. That's like beefcakey man, just in a big old frame. And you're like, oh yeah, Peter Parker's kind of a dork next to that guy. Mm-hmm. It's hard to put someone like, unless you're gonna throw like Chris Hemsworth against Andrew Garfield. Like Andrew Garfield just he's like a tall, fit, attractive dude with great hair. Yeah. Great hair. How did that hair fit in the Spider-Man mask?
I don't.
How Sony, I need one of those visual dictionaries, and I need it to explain in detail how his hair fits into the Spider-Man mask. It's very important to me.
These are the things we need to know.
These are the questions that me.
Truly. I need to know. I need to know how his hair fit in there.
I need it. I need it in my life.
Oh, God. This is going to be a great movie. I'm excited.
I'm similarly excited. I'm not going to lie. Speaking of Spider-Man, there's a game out.
There is a game.
Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. That is a game you can play on the PS5. Uh-huh. And this next story is about the PS5. How'd you like that segue?
That was very clean.
We got there. Clean. It's like a winding river. CEX, the UK-based distributor of video game consoles, has come under fire lately because they are selling their consoles at a 100% markup. They are, you can currently walk into a CEX and sell your PS5 to them for €650, which is more than the console's actually worth. And then they will turn around and sell it back to somebody else for €815. So a, like, store is getting in on this scalping game, kind of. And 815 euros is about double the price of a PS5. So the reason they've come under backlash is the employees of the store are actually coming out and saying that they are uncomfortable with this. That they don't like dealing with people coming in and being like, wait, why is the system twice the price?
Yeah, I would hate that.
Yeah.
I would feel so bad. There has to be some kind of legality where, like, a store can't, like, resell a console for, like, more than a certain amount.
No, they absolutely can. EB Games has been doing it for years.
Yeah, but at least the EB Games ones are, like, more reasonably priced than double.
Oh, yeah. They don't mark up that much, but there's nothing that stops them from reselling at whatever the market price is. Because, like, you can't tell someone that they can't charge whatever they want if it's not new. CX can't sell a new PS5 for that price because of MSRP, but they can sell a used console for twice the price.
What the hell?
So they can sell you a console, you can sell it back to them and make money, and then they can sell it for twice the price and they can make more money off of it. So honestly, this could open up a scam where they just sell to an employee, the employee sells it back to them for a profit, and then they sell it publicly for 815 euros. If they can get their hands on a PS5. That's the tricky part here.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, how many people are selling their PS5s right now? But
that seems to be the only... They seem to be the only retailer in the UK that seems to have rotating stock. And it's because people seem to be taking advantage of this. Because they're like, I'll sell it for... the Richardson 7 says the MSRP is manufacturer's suggested retail price. Thank you for that, Richard. It's very interesting, and it's shady as hell.
To sell a PS5, do you have to, like, have an agreement, like, well, I don't know. I guess pawn shops that are a thing, so that doesn't really work. But I was just like, if you were Sony, wouldn't you only want, like, licensed retailers, like, selling your stuff?
Well, yeah, because right now they're only sending new stock to licensed retailers. Like, they're not sending PS5s to just anybody.
Yeah. Are they sending this store new ones as well? Like, are they part of the...
I don't know, actually, if I'm going to be honest. I don't have the answer to that question.
I'm just very confused.
But, yeah, it's... you have a problem when your employees in the store are going, hey, we don't want to do this.
Yeah, I would be so uncomfortable. Be like, yeah, this PlayStation is twice the price if you want it used already. Like...
Well, but it's working. People are buying them.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
Like, I have no doubt, but still.
Yeah. It's just wild. The way in which this is all going down, the way the scalping market has completely changed console sales is so nuts. Because I remember when the Nintendo Switch came out. That was kind of the last big console release, and there wasn't this kind of scalping issue. Mm-hmm. But we've seen the same thing with graphics cards lately, and part of that was brought on by scalpers. Part of it's brought on by these companies selling the graphics cards to crypto miners to mine crypto.
Yeah.
But, we're really in this interesting time where, like, if you want to buy a system, you truly might not be able to. Like, if you want to walk into a store and buy a system, you won't be able to for these first 6 months of the console cycle. Like, we all might be waiting for the updated console to get the new console.
I mean, yeah, maybe. Which is crazy. Like, I don't know what they could do, but I feel like Sony needs to do something.
It's Microsoft, too, though. It's both. Like, it's not just Sony.
Yeah.
There's nothing Sony can do in this case with CEX. Like, they can't tell them what to resell something at. Especially when CX is buying the console back from consumers for more than it's worth. So
I guess.
So this is just the market right now, but the scalping market is the worst.
Yeah, I hate it.
Because honestly, what have we talked about? What positive stories have we talked about the PS5 and Xbox Series X yet? We kind of haven't. Like, our conversations, and the majority of the conversations I'm seeing online about this console release has been, you can't get it, the scalpers got it, it's been scalper.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to remember the PS5, Xbox Series X releases as being plagued by...
A hot mess.
Yeah.
Like, truly. And, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know really what they could do about it, but, like, it just leaves a bad taste in people's mouths, you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know what they could do, but I hate it.
Chomsky Live says the only way you can eliminate scalping is through regulation. I don't necessarily agree with that, Chomsky. I think that like the Comic-Cons, without regulation, Comic-Cons have done a really good job to eliminate scalping by making you like. But there are downsides to that because you have to give people your information. But Comic-Con essentially was like, all right, you sign up to be a verified fan, and only verified fans can buy tickets.
Right.
And I really appreciated that because, you know, Comic-Cons blew up in the last 10 years. It was 10 years ago when I first got to New York, I could walk up to New York Comic-Con day of and buy a ticket. You could buy one day of ticket, and then, but the you know, that was when the Javits wasn't full every day for Comic-Con. Now, there's a day in May or June where you sit by your computer and you desperately try to get through a digital queue, and by the time you get in, all the Saturday tickets are already sold off, and you can get Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, and so you don't go to Comic-Con on Saturday for 2 years in a row because that day is the one you can't get into, and I'm not bitter about it. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. I'm fine.
I'm
fine.
I know you are.
I'm fine. Okay, Chomsky Lives, I'm fine. But the difference now is you have to do this whole fan verified thing, and it has worked to some extent. Like, it has definitely changed because once you buy it, like, transferring it to another person is actually really hard.
Yeah, like, they make it complicated.
They do. Because I've tried. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to eat the $100 because whatever. This is too complicated.
Yeah. That, I'm sorry, that sucks.
No, but it's fine, because I love Comic-Con.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely tougher with tickets than it is with, like, consoles, you know, because tickets, you
could do the same thing. You could say that you're verified. Like, you could literally say, like, 3 months before, or 2 months before the console release, you're like, this is when the pre-orders are happening. You have to have a ticket to pre-order, and in order to do that, you have to provide this information, and you can only get one, and no one can buy more than one. Because these bots are like, I'll buy 10 PS5s, and the bot just automatically does it faster than any human can click through.
Yeah.
And it ruins the customer experience for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I would say, like, maybe, like, 2 if you want to, like, give a gift. Like, but still, like,
sure.
2 versus 10 is...
Yeah. My goal is just to get Nerdy Nightly to a point where next console generation, someone just sends us one.
Yeah.
The PS6 is just free.
Yeah, we get it sent to us to review for you guys.
Sony, I'm putting it out in the universe.
Yeah, we're manifesting.
I'm sending you these vibes. One day, Sony's going to be like, Nerdy Nightly should get one.
Yeah.
You know what? Nerdy Nightly's going to send us... Sony's going to send us 2, and we're gonna have one to give away.
We're going to raffle one off.
Hazmat says, sadly, greed doesn't know customer service. I disagree with that, Hazmat. Here's the thing, and here's the problem for Sony. These systems have to be in homes to sell games. And if the systems are sitting on scalper shelves, they're not selling games and they're losing money. And this is the problem. You can go buy these PS5s from scalpers. They're available. People are kind of saying no. Like, the general consensus is that people are trying not to buy scalpers, and so games are not being sold.
Yeah.
And
here's the thing. I think the Hazmat's comment it is definitely very applicable for certain things. But yeah, the thing with the console that makes it tough is the fact that it's the games that make the money.
Yeah. Whereas, like, for NVIDIA, it's different for NVIDIA, right? Because when they put out a graphics card, they don't care who's using the graphics card. You know what I mean? Like, because they're not selling, like, a secondary thing.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, for the Empire. But it is complicated for these consoles because they need the consoles to be in homes to sell games.
Yeah.
And right now they're not. And I think that you're going to see game sales for these initial console launches to be lower than expected.
Yeah. Which is, it sucks because, like, you know, we would buy them if we could. There's so many people out there who would if they could. I would have bought 5 PS5 games by now. Godfall, Miles Morales, Demon Souls, I would probably have bought Cyberpunk for the PS5 instead of PC. Okay. Cool. Although I did buy it for the PC. And there's... Oh, right, we pre-ordered Cyberpunk. Well, yeah, of course. Cause I forgot. Well, yeah. I did it yesterday. I didn't tell you. I'm sorry. I got an idea. You get to add 1 to the basket and buy that single one. And then when you've bought one, you have no more access site that sells the console for 1 hour.
Or we have to show up at a physical store in person. Well, the physical store in person thing models we can't do because of COVID. Like, the whole reason there was no physical store launch was because of COVID.
Which, yeah, that sucks.
Which would have made things... Which admittedly would have made this whole process different.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's been sad. It's been sad that this has been the story of this experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I was hoping that it would be a much smoother release.
And that we would have one in our home.
Yes.
One day.
One day. Maybe in the spring we'll have a PlayStation. You know? Maybe. Fingers crossed.
Maybe. But for now, we have a PC that can play all these games anyway, so I don't know why I'm complaining.
It's true. Yeah, we are very privileged. Speaking of which, if you want to watch us play games on our PC, I'm going to be streaming Skyrim tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Skyrim Saturday. Very exciting. I'm going to be back on Sunday playing some Fortnite for the first time.
Ever.
Because they released... Well, no, I've played 2 rounds.
Okay,
I played 2 rounds of Fortnite.
Playing your 3rd round of Fortnite.
I don't even know what it was on. I think it was on an iPad. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'll be playing Fortnite for the new Star Wars content on Sunday. So that'll be interesting. I'm very curious... I'm very curious to see what kind of viewers pop into the chat on a Fortnite stream. Because I have a feeling it's a different side of Twitch that I'm not usually in.
Yeah.
Richard Sim says, don't be surprised if you win your first game. Okay, cool.
Great.
I won't.
Good luck, babe.
I'm not the best at first-person shooters. I'm more of a puzzle games guy. I like puzzles.
I'm also
I like my
Legends
of Zeldas.
Yes, we do share a PC. We have the one computer in the house, and we take turns.
Well, to be fair, we also have 3 laptops.
But like gaming, yeah. Mm-hmm.
We have one gaming PC, and then we have a gaming laptop, and then we have an editing laptop, and then we have a Surface.
Yes.
We're in a weird position.
Yeah, it's complicated.
To be fair, most of it was gifts. So.
Gifts?
I did not pay for either of my laptops. They're both gifts.
Well, I paid for my laptop and my computer.
Well, one of us does things better than the other. And that would be you, because you're wonderful. Y'all, I think that's going to be the end of our show. The end of this show really went off the rails for no reason.
We just started talking about computers.
We just have too much technology. Y'all,
I wish I could show you the setup right now.
There's a big old light that's just on the couch right now. Say hello to this light. It's just on the couch so that we get some light on the top of our heads.
Because usually the sun is kind of out when we do our morning show, but it's so dark and snowy and gray today. We had to literally put in an extra light. So we have a light, we have a camera, we have a laptop, we have a computer, we have an iPad, a microphone, audio interface. It's something. The amount
that goes into doing to getting this show working every morning is a lot.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
But we will be back doing the show on Monday, because that's what we do. The nightly morning show is Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, here on twitch.tv/nerdynightly. We'll be streaming this weekend. There will be some Twitch highlights from November going up on the YouTube channel. For patrons, they will be going up first, so I hope that you enjoy that. Muddles pretty wants to know if we got the video camera to work for it. We have not yet, Muddles. We're going to have that ready for Monday.
Yeah, we're going to work on it.
Because we're going to need a new setup for that. But, yeah, that's next week. We will be doing this on a different camera. This bad boy right here.
Very exciting.
Yes, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, what a beauty.
Yeah, this camera's done me good in my time in New York, and now it shall do me good in my time in Toronto. Mm-hmm. Y'all, thank you so much for being here. This was a fun episode.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that it was a bit more of a downer, but Warner Brothers put us in a weird place today.
Yes, they did. God damn it.
Y'all, we are going to see you hopefully this weekend, maybe next week. But until then, my name's David Webb.
I'm Ariel Edwards.
Do something nerdy tonight.
Bye, guys.